What's up, cryptopreneurs? Bitcoin Street here. Got a little macro analysis for you. Now, this isn't going to change as much as I would like to make titles and thumbnails today saying it's all pumping to the moon, and then the next day, big red titles and thumbnails saying it's crashing, and then it's dumping, and then the next day it's pumping, and then this is awful, and then this is awesome. Just every other day I just change it. As much as I'd like to do that. Now, my analysis is my analysis. It's not going to change, right? There's nothing new here. I don't. I'm just talking about YouTube and social media, right? Because people are competing for views, right? That's just how you do it on YouTube. You got to make attention-getting titles and thumbnails, and that's really just destructive to, particularly if you're new to this subject of crypto and Bitcoin. If you've newly got into this here recently, watch out for titles and thumbnails on YouTube, right? This analysis is not going to change. We're in an uptrend. Well, we're in a downtrend in an uptrend, right? And this is a very bullish structure here that eventually is going to be a continuation pattern to the upside. That's my analysis. It's not going to change, right? Even if in the future, if I make videos saying dump warning, dump warning or blah, 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 this is still inside this channel for the time being, right? So if it's up here, a dump warning, that would be like from 62,000 down, like 55, it's a dump warning. But the analysis on the macro scale is not changing, right? So just keep that in mind. And no one out there, I know how destructive that can be to people when they put money into this market. When might it break out? Well, I've got this yellow triangle drawn in here now, and there's a few different places I could draw it, but it gives us a time, right? Because triangles come to a point; it's got to break out at some point. So it could be end of May. The first few days of June would probably be the latest this would go before it broke out. Zoom in here. Before it broke out of that yellow triangle. So that's interesting. Now, what if Bitcoin just ignores the yellow triangle and just continues to range? Because we've got about a 2 or 3 month gap if you compare it to the last cycle where Bitcoin actually started its post-halving cycle pump. So that's a mistake. If you're new, if you've been watching my videos, I'm going to go down to the hour and 5 minute chart here in a second, show you some cool stuff. But what might be happening here in the next 24, 48 hours. But what was I saying? Yeah. So there's if you compare it to last cycle, there's still like a 2 month gap to where the post-halving pump starts. So for the next 2 months, I'm not sure exactly what this action is going to look like. It could just stay in that descending channel. If Bitcoin goes under 60,000, it could get stuck under there, and this could last for another month or two. But as soon as I say that, then tomorrow is when the breakout happens, right? And then this is we're on our way. So this is who knows when, but there is about a 2 month gap, and so this should probably be considered the mid cycle pump. This is not the Bitcoin halving cycle pump. That's where a lot of people, including myself, got confused. This is more like the mid-cycle pump. That's just like a glacier grinding down a mountainside. Right? It's just slowly grinding and grinding and grinding. It gets real boring and grinding, and then here's the real halving cycle pump. There it goes. Right. That's probably where we're at in the cycle. And when it broke the all-time high back in what was the date on that? March 12th, March 13th, March 14th, when it broke the all-time high, that's what got me back into this market. And it did appear that it was the halving cycle pump, but that is not true. This was the mid-cycle pump. And, we could be stuck. It could just be this glacier grinding down a mountainside for the foreseeable future. And then shling ping, there it goes. That's what we're really looking for. So we're in a downtrend and an uptrend. It's going to eventually pop back up and be a continuation of the uptrend. Is my macro analysis, and I have a hard time even contemplating that analysis changing unless the solar flares that you've seen, heard about, solar storm, our sun spouting out flares at us. Yes, folks, Bitcoin could go to zero. Yes, because it relies on electricity. And a solar storm, the worst we've had in 20 years. I think it's over with now, but just keep that in mind, right? But if you had all your money and all your wealth wrapped up into cryptocurrency, could you imagine if a solar storm hit and knocked out all of our electricity for a week or a couple of weeks, even a day, even a couple of days, even an hour? Could you imagine? What would you do? You wouldn't have any money. It'd be gone. Boom. See ya. All right. Keep that in mind. That's always been the glaring weakness of this cryptocurrency market that no one ever seems to want to talk about. But a black swan in this market could really be ugly. You know what I'm saying? If you got physical gold hidden somewhere and buried in your backyard or wherever, that would what can a solar storm do to gold, physical gold that you possess? Nothing. What could it do to the cryptocurrency? Well, it could turn it to zero. It could turn it to nothing at all, literally nothing. And that's kind of what I'm going down a rabbit trail now, but that's what Warren Buffett's always said about Bitcoin. That's what he means when there's no intrinsic value, because it's literally, he's always said if you buy a farm and the economy falls apart, you got a farm. You still, you can live on your farm and you can grow stuff. And if you got gold, you can buy stuff with gold. Right? That's what they mean by intrinsic value. That's the prime example. A solar flare knocking out electricity. Bye-bye. And okay, so that was a rabbit hole. I didn't intend on going down. The last video, I was talking about the 60,800 level, whether it was going to be support or resistance, and it turned out to be support. And look at that. It actually bounced right exactly off that line. It's actually 60,779 is where the wick went down to. It's like $20, $21 lower. Just right up. See that? Look at it. Isn't that a beautiful thing? I just love this for that reason. I just think that's so cool when that stuff happens. And where did I get that 60,800 white line? Well, it's the wick. I just want to show you because I think I've always said you should learn to do this stuff yourself. All it is it's actually the result of Fibonacci sequence. But how I get it on my chart was I just went back here and I put these white lines at the bottom of these wick dumps, like this one here. The bottom's 59,000. And look at this wick here. The next time it dumped down, that's 68,800. That's where I got that, right? And then it's been here exactly. Came down to it again, and then recently, this is the daily chart, so you can't see a lot of detail, but recently it's really come back into play. That's where I got that. So any of those dumps, there's many other white lines on here I can mark. I just want to keep my chart clean. And, we're at this area now, so that's why I'm looking at it. But I talked about last video, if I looked at this, if I ignored everything to the left and I just looked at this last dump over here, I would say, oh, there's a pump coming of about equal size. And I said, but it's not going to be yet. It's really unlikely that it just happen right away, just boom, right back up. I said, but it might consolidate for a while and then pump up. And look at that, 24 hours later, boom, there it is. And it's no mystery. It's no surprise. See, the range it's in now is exactly, well, not exactly, but it's the same range. It left over here. And this is a thing that happens a lot. And once it's brought to your attention, you can really see it happening over and over on all time frames. And like a few videos back, I was talking about this one here, where it pumped up here, and I was saying it looked like a round top, and I was saying it's probably coming back down to 59,000. Now, I didn't make it down there. It's actually stopped at the white line above there at 60,800. And I probably should have saw that because there is a bit of a consolidation here, and This last move down here at this dump actually kind of came from 60,800, and so this pump kind of started there too. But this it's basically that same pattern. I should have just probably started it here, right? Boom, it just all comes right back out. Boom, right, and then it bounces off there, and it's just that another same similar structure. Boom, that the pump, right? The pumps that go up have a dump, an equally sized dump that comes right back out. And you see this over and over and over. And when you start to be able to recognize it, well, then you can start to take advantage of it. And now I longed the bottom of this red channel here last night. But I got real drowsy and I took some sleeping pills and I was passing out. So I got out for a tiny little profit because I didn't want to leave it open in case it did dump. Because my last video I was saying it's my opinion. It's kind of a coin flip if it's pumping or dumping, but it's my opinion we're dumping. And but then that's just how these videos go, right? And a few hours later, I'm actually opening up and long. I did quite a bit of trading through here and did pretty good, but it was a day trade, so I had to go to sleep. Is a long story short, and I woke up and saw this monster. This 2025, about 2,000. What is it? $2,500 pump in 3-4 hours. That would have been a wonderful trade. That would have been huge. It would have been a monster trade for me, actually. But let's not talk about that. So this is valuable information for you because what has just happened, right? This red dump here, boom, and look at this. See if I inverted this would be like a flat top kind of deal. But it's called a flat bottom. That dump, every bit of that dump just came right back out, or came right back in, I should say. All right, look at that. See that? It just happens over and over and over and over. And when you start to recognize that stuff, then you can start to take advantage of it. And what's going to happen now, I'm not sure. There's probably going to be one or two things that's going to happen here right now. And it's probably either going to do a little consolidation number. Now, this one's actually starting to point up. Now that's got some time. It does actually start. Let me just show you this real quick. Actually, let's go down to the 5-minute and see if this looks like it's forming another red channel. Looks like it's forming another red channel. Yeah, this structure is there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go at this time, and I'm gonna go ahead, turn my magnet on, and this is just how I do this. Now you see the last red channel was a bearish channel that actually pumped up, and let's do it from up here. This looks better up here. Let's do it from here to here. No, that's not it. This is just how I do this. So when I know it's valid is when I find a spot up here, say like, no, that don't look right either. It's not fully formed yet, but there is one there, and let's see. I just want to show you this. I like people learning. I'm just so happy that this stuff is available to young people these days because this is something you can use for the rest of your life. And don't push it if you're brand new to this subject. Don't push it. It's a lot to absorb. And there's one there. I know it's there. I just can't find the. There it is. That's pretty close. Watch this. Boom. Look at that. See that? Boom, right there. There it is. Now there's a couple different ways I could draw that in there, but for the time being, that's pretty good. And extend it and see what I'm mainly looking at here is these 4, 5 dumps at the bottom. Boom, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this last one came down below it. And look, see right now it's trying to get back in there. Now this already may have broken out. This could have, let's look at this. This could already be the breakdown out of that channel. And right now it's coming up for the retest. So like if I was on my day trading account, I'm not prepared because I'm making a video. Right now that could be a short right there. So if I put in a short right there, I'd put in a stop loss, say up here. Get my magnet off. Dang it. It's annoying. So this is just how I would play this right now. It's probably a good trade, actually. I would put a short in right now and put a stop loss like right up here. Put the stop loss like right up here. And but if I was sitting here watching, maybe I wouldn't use a stop loss. But you got to use stop losses. But I mean, I could do it manually. But anyways, just technically, put in a short right there, right now, and a stop loss like up here somewhere. And I'm almost, it almost, I didn't see this. I didn't see this until I just drew on that red channel, right? Right. See that? This is how this works. And so this is likely a breakdown out of the channel, and it just came up for the retest, and it's going to do one of these numbers, right? And then this is the cool part about this, right? And I'm making a video. I should be trading this, but and I'm scribbling all over my chart. And I'm at this point, I'm not making a video. I was starting to make, but let's. What I do is I leave these patterns in here, because they're relevant for quite a long time, and that guy is right about there. So then look at this. So what might happen here is this could come down here, dump down here, and then bounce right off of there, right? So then I would know to close my short and possibly open a long here, boom, right? But using a stop loss here, and that's just how this works, right? And I don't know what I'm doing. This is looking good, and I should probably be trading this right now. But I could be totally wrong, right? This could pump back up into the channel, take out my stop loss where I lose a little bit, and maybe it comes right back up here to the dotted heart line, and maybe it comes way back up here. And this yellow line is actually that triangle. So the higher we go, it starts testing these top resistance lines. Like the yellow line is a triangle, the pink line is the wedge, the green lines are part of the parallel channel, and then up right here, that's the very top, about 66,000 or so right now today. But it's starting to get up in that neighborhood, so that's pretty interesting. And let's see what happened here. Oh, I might have been wrong. Look at it. But that's just how this, So if I turn out being wrong there, I took a stop loss, and then I might lose, $20, $10, whatever. And it's just how this works, right? And like day trading, because I talk about a swing. I have a swing trade open I show a lot too, where I'm not using stop losses, and I'm intentionally short and long and swing trades, letting it go underwater. But mainly, I know it gets confusing, but look at that. See, I was wrong. Look at that. It's probably, no, that's the problem with stop losses sometimes, right? It'll come back up to there, take out the stop loss, and then drop. So it's looking like it's reclaiming that channel, but that's just pretty cool. That's fun to talk about. Look at that. I think it is reclaiming that channel. So, right now, I might close down that short and open up a long. Yeah, and I would probably do that right now. Now I'm long. Right now I'm long. So that's when I get into day trading. That's how I would do it, right? And then if I'm in a long, I just got rid of my short and I went long. Right? I'm just telling you that's what I just did. Right now I got my stop loss down here, right? And I've just entered a long position here, and I'm looking for it to pump. See how that works? And using stop losses, the losses you incur are just tiny compared to the massive gains you can have using leverage. So, but I don't want to get people into this. If you don't know how to do it properly, you're going to get your ass handed to you. It's basically a guarantee. They say 95% of day traders lose money, are not successful. I do not believe that. I believe it's the other way around. I believe 95% of day traders make money, and they just confuse the data and the stats, because someone who just tries to day trade, that's not a day trader. That's just someone who tried to day trade and they lose. That shouldn't be included, right? The real stat should be 95% of the people who don't know how to day trade, they lose money, right? That's what the real stat is. Let me say that again. 95% of the people who do not know how to day trade lose money. That's the real stat. I assure you that's the real stat. Because if you know how to day trade, there's really no way that you can lose routinely, because you're using stop losses. And it's obviously I just showed you how my little system would work right there. And okay, that's enough yammering. what was I trying to say before I got into? I went down like 4 or 5 different rabbit holes in this video. I do apologize, but let's go back to the hourly. And so what I would be looking for here before I saw that red channel is what was I? Oh yeah, I was saying that's exactly what I was saying. That's so annoying when I draw that line. I'm trying to move my chart and I got my brush on and it draws that line. If you're wondering, okay, so one of two things is going to happen here. This is going to consolidate. This is when I just noticed the red channel. Notice the red channel. Went down a day trading rabbit hole. It's going to consolidate here. Whatever this is going to do, it's going to do one of two things. It's probably going to consolidate and then pop to the upside, or it's going to break that. You know, that's a steep. See how steep that bearish channel is. See how much more steeper it is. So it's going to either do that and continue upside, or it's this pattern that we've seen over and over and over again, right? This dumped, and every bit of it just came right back out, right? Or came right back in. Right? That's the whole move. And so it's basically the same situation I was talking about last video. You generally do not see that pattern play out, and we've just had the big pump. You generally do not see that dump right away. See that this is probably going to consolidate for a while, even if it breaks out of this red channel now. I just got done talking about it's probably bouncing off this other red channel, right? So it could be looking something like this, and then do one of these numbers, and maybe it hits that yellow triangle resistance, and then boom, this could come right back down to 60,800. See that? And then do one of these numbers. See how this working? And then we got that same pattern, right? This pump, and then whether it's a double top or a round top or a flat top, whatever kind of top it is, this little consolidation here, and then boom, every bit comes right back out, right? I wouldn't be surprised. It kind of looks like a tooth, like a molar tooth, doesn't it? Maybe we should call it the tooth. Let's draw in a tooth. Let's draw in a molar tooth. What would that look like? It looks something like this. Pump up, and then kind of one of these. There. It's the tooth. I wouldn't be surprised if in 24 hours, 48 hours, that there's a corresponding dump to 60,800. And it's either going to be that, or like I said, the problem I have with it pumping here is, now it could, because it could be trying to break out, right? It could be trying to break it. Now watch out for the fakey fake break. This could be a consolidation. One of the consolidations, pump, consolidate, pump, consolidate, pump, right? That could be that. Could do that. But one of the problems I have is that all these resistance lines, right? That macro chart I showed you at the start, on the daily chart I showed you at the start, there's all these resistance, the yellow resistance, the green resistance, the pink resistance, and then we're running into more white vertical lines around 65,000, and then the top of the channel, lots of resistance. So if I just guessed right now, I would say it consolidates for a while. Maybe it takes a run up here and gets rejected, and then boom, back down to 60,800. And then what it does down here, I don't know. Maybe it comes down here and dumps again, or maybe it pumps back up. But it's speculation out in the future. But I would not be surprised for the 15th time if that's what we're looking at right there, coming back down to 60,800. Keep that in mind. And that's enough yammering. I sure hope you enjoyed it. Video got long. I do apologize. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and do all that. And stay safe out there. If you get into day trading, use stop losses. And I would not try to day trade if you don't have a firm grasp of all the things I talked about in this video. And the continuation for investors out there, green light buying, dollar cost averaging, just continue to buy, even if this dumps down to 53,000. That's exactly when you should be buying. You should be buying now. You should be buying tomorrow. You should just don't even look at the price on Bitcoin. Just buy. I don't know what kind of money you're dealing with, but whatever you're putting in, $5, $10, $20 a day, just continue to do that on Robinhood or whatever. Just keep doing that, because this is just the mid-cycle pump, folks. And Bitcoin will be going over 100,000 in the near future. That's generally what happens. Is is, you know, the slow glacier grinding down a mountain. It gets boring and people lose interest, and it gets boring and stupid and no one cares. And that's exactly, it's exactly when these big pumps come up. We're going to go parabolic in the post-halving pump. All right, that cycle pump is not even started yet. I mean, technically it has started, but the parabolic post-halving pump has not even started, and that is coming. That is coming. That is coming pretty soon, right? It'll be when you least expect it, when you want to not watch any videos, when you don't friggin' care, right? It gets stupid and boring, and we're sitting at 56,000, and you're like, "Why did I get into this?" And then boom, you know, you turn it on a week later. You look at what's going on with Bitcoin a week later. You haven't been paying attention. There it is, sitting at 85,000, and the Bitcoin community is going crazy about it. There's a big pump coming up to 111,000. 111 is a number I saw someone out there put out, and I do think that the next level up is going to be the four major parabolic pumps in Bitcoin's recent history. The biggest ones have all been around $30,000. So you know, if we broke out from so we broke out here June 10th from 62,000, that would put us up to, you know, over a little over 90,000, and then would probably be a correction, you know, just shy of 100 would be my speculation. You know, it gets up to 90, and then there's, you know, 25% correction again, and then the next one goes up to like 120,000, you know, 110,000, breaks through 100,000. I do expect that in 2024. And okay, I could just keep talking about this stuff all day, so I'm not going to do that. All right, later. Bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe.